show us how to memorize the planets in the solar system. So she made a story like linking them together, and yeah, I thought this was really amazing. Like it was a way to remember like, anything I wanted, so I was really excited about it. And I used the techniques in my like in my school work and things like that. And then a few years later, well, about 10 years later, I started taking part in. I started memorizing cards, and then a few years after that, I started competing.
It's great, amazing. Katie owns many world records, especially in words and names. 105 names in 5 minutes, and 224 in 15 minutes. Can you tell us about your strategy in this discipline?
Okay. For me, names is something that has always been natural, so it's hard to describe a strategy, but I think something really important is that I'm familiar with names from all over the world. Like I'm really into football, so I've become really familiar with like players from all over the world, different countries. So I'm used to all the word endings, all the different types of names from from Africa, Asia, like all over the world. So every name kind of has a meaning, or I kind of recognize what country it comes from. I think that's really important. So that's the only thing that I can think of that I deliberately do. I just try to take an interest in names from everywhere, so that they always have a meaning. It's not just like a set of letters. It means something to me.
It's great, amazing. But there is too many names. International names, too many names in international. How do you how you deal with this a lot numbers of names?
I just kind of read them really quickly, and each person I associate with maybe the country where the names comes from, and I just think, oh, that person's got a German name, or a Portuguese name, or a Nigerian name. I just kind of associate with the country, and then when I read them, I try to remember which country they came from, and then I kind of go through the map of the world in my head and think, well, did I see any names from Egypt or France or whatever? I just kind of go through the map and try and think of which names I've seen.
That's great score and great performance from Katie. Thank you. And words, you have I think 318 words in 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What system do you use for words?
I put 2 words in each location, and I try to like link the 2 words together into one one meaning or one phrase or one object, to try and make it just one thing in each location, but it's 2 words. And I just read them really quickly, and then I go through again and again and try to sort of test myself, like see if I can remember what comes next in the next location. And that's it really. I try to make everything meaningful, so it's not just an abstract word, but I associate it with I have a fixed person in each location. I associate with that word. So if the word is like happiness, I imagine that person is really happy. So that's my technique with words.
Yeah, there is too many words is very difficult, especially on Memory League. Yeah, you have world record in Memory League, 50 words in 51 seconds. But I think you go faster in normal training.
Yeah, that's right. In normal training, I try and go maybe 40 seconds, maybe sometimes even faster. Yeah, I don't always get it, but I think it's important to, sometimes push yourself, go a little faster than you can definitely do. Sometimes go a little slower to really practice linking the images and the words, but yeah, it's really good to push yourself. And yeah, I aim to go about 35 seconds one day. So yeah, that's my aim.
Wow, that's amazing. Great. Do you prefer long tests or short one?
I quite like I quite like the long disciplines actually. I do practice memory league a lot, but you know, it's my aim to kind of get really good scores in like hour cards and things like that. I've only been to one world championship, but I really enjoyed the challenge of doing the long disciplines. I think that's kind of fun in a way.
Great. What is your favorite disciplines?
I guess words, yeah, words and names, definitely
Words.
my favorite. I also quite like spoken numbers because I guess I don't have any expectations of myself because it's so hard. I just think, well, I'm going to remember as many as I can. And it's kind of scary because you sit there listening and you think, if I lose concentration for a minute, then that's it. So it's kind of like a really tense and scary discipline, but I enjoy it. I like practicing it.
Great. How many hours do you train every day?
Most days, at the moment, I can't even train because I have two kids and they're not at school because of the coronavirus. So it's, well, my son's just gone back to school, but my daughter's still around every day. So I'm also working. So I don't really get to train every day, but if I can do 20 minutes a day, then that's really great. That's what I aim for.
Oh, that's great. I am not strong in words or names at all. Can you give me some advice to improve myself in this discipline?
Yeah, so like words, just you know, try to make it really concrete. Don't just look at the abstract word like happiness or information. Like think of a concrete image that could represent it. And also just the first time you look at them, go quite fast because sometimes the words will stick in your brain without any effort really. So the second time you go through it, you can then slow down and try to work on the ones that didn't stick in your brain. So yeah, that's what I would say. And for names, just you know, learn about names from all over the world. I think that's the best thing you can do, and make sure each name has a meaning or it has sort of representation to you.
Okay, great idea and a great advice from you. What system do you use for numbers?
I use the Bend system, so it's like yeah, consonant, vowel, consonant, so a 3-digit system. I started using this a few years ago, and like my scores really improved. Because before that, I had a category system, but the Bend system has been really great. So I definitely recommend that, or the major system. But yeah, that's what I use for numbers, and I put 2 images in each location again.
Okay, great. That's amazing. But I think pen system is very difficult. He said that to me before.
Okay.
Pen advised me to don't use his system because he saw his system is very difficult.
Yeah, it can be, and it depends on the language that you use as well. Because for English, the Bend system works really well because we have lots of short words with vowels in the middle, and it suits it really well. But for other languages, maybe the major system is better, like 3 consonants. So yeah, you have to work out what works best for you, definitely.
That's great, amazing. And the cards you use 2,700 for image or what?
No, I have 1,362. You know the 2-block system by Johannes Mallow. It's like you have a different number of cards in each location. So if the card pair has a black card first, then you stop putting cards in the location. Then you start again, and if you get a black first pair, you stop, and then so you can have like 1 in each location. You might have 2, you might have 3. So it's quite tricky, but it means you can have only half the number of images. So I really like that system.
Great. You use block two card block system?
Yeah.
Yes, great. And me, I use this system, but now Andrea make great results with a PAO system?
Yeah, it's
What do you,
amazing. I've never tried PAO, but yeah, with Andrea doing so well, it makes you think maybe maybe PAO is the best system for cards. I don't know, but I think it's good to try lots of different ways of doing things and see what works, because sometimes you try something and it doesn't work for you, but sometimes you do, and it improves your scores. So I think it's good to experiment and try different things.
that's great, amazing. About Memory Palace, how many points do you have?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 2,000, something like that.
1,000. Wow.
Yeah, 2,000, yeah. Because I like to make really long journeys so that I never have to kind of add bits on. It's like I've got enough to reach the world record, even though maybe maybe I'm not ready to achieve that, but I like to have the palaces long enough so that I could achieve a world record if I wanted to. And I have a fixed person in every location, so like 2,000 people in each of my locations. So it's like it's quite hard to find enough people. I have to use people from TV shows, famous people I know, and I put one in each location that I have. So yeah, it's good to have a different journey for each discipline and make sure you know them really, really fluently. Because I think in Memory League, people practice the same journeys like really fluently, and that's why people get really amazing scores in Memory League. So I try to do the same thing with my long journeys, so I can practice them and become really, really fluent, because I think that's a good way to kind of get faster and get better scores in the long disciplines.
Great. Do you use real palaces or imaginary?
I use real ones, usually places I've been to, houses I've lived in, things like that. I have experimented with imaginary ones as well, but I mainly use that for other things, like other things I want to remember, facts to do with the world, or football, and anything I want to learn about. I can use imaginary palaces, or like Google Street View to kind of places that I've not been to, but I've seen on the computer. But for my competition journeys, I use places I've been to. Yeah.
It's great. How do you choose your palaces for each discipline? Numbers, words. Is there preferred palaces for any test or what?
I have a different palace for each one, but I didn't really choose it in a particular way. I just kind of decided, right, I'm going to use my houses for words. I'm going to use my trip to Mexico for binary. It's just what I decided at the time. So there's no reason behind it. But yeah, definitely good to have a different palace for each one, and to know exactly, which one you're using and where the kind of main points come. So, like you've done a few rows of numbers, which location you're at, and you kind of, exactly how it's going to work.
That's great. Do you go through about the words and words? Do you go in 5-minute words? How many times do you go through words? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times?
About 3 times normally. So yeah, first time really fast, second time about the same, and then once again really quickly.
And 15 minutes?
Yeah, maybe 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
You go through all words and then repeat them, or 20?
Yeah, so the whole lot and then repeat again. So I don't like breaking it into groups. I think it's best to kind of just do all of them and then go through again.
That's great. And the names?
Yeah, same in names. Maybe 3 times for 5 minutes, and maybe 4 times for 15 minutes.
Wow, that's great. Please give us some advice to improve ourselves.
Well, I want to say that I'm really impressed with the Egypt memory team. Like from recent competitions, I think you're great. And I have family members in Egypt, so it's obviously I'm a big fan of the Egypt memory team. So I want to say, like, don't give up, and keep doing what you're doing. And sometimes when you hit like a plateau and your scores maybe don't improve, it's like it's important to push through, keep going, and try different things, and eventually your scores improve again. And like help one another, so like discuss your ideas and methods with each other, and you can really support each other and help each other. I think that's great that you have a team. That's brilliant.
Thanks a lot. Finally, I want to thank you a lot for this great information and strategy, and providing this time for the Egyptian memory team in order to give them some of your experience and advice on memory. And also, I want to thank you, especially for your effort and the time to prepare our Egypt memory championship tests, and also IAM African Open. Thanks a lot for this time and for this great advice and your experience.
No worries, my pleasure. And good luck in the future with everything you do as a team.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Katie. Okay. Is there anyone have questions? We have here Mustafa Al-Hamami, who won last IAM remote IAM African Open. Here, Mustafa, if there is have some questions to Katie.
I have many questions, but I didn't prepare until now. So now I don't have anything. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Omnia. Do you have any questions?
Yes, Mr. Hello, madam.
Hello.
I'm pleased to be with you all now, and I want to ask you about is there a good impact on your life about practicing memory, not just competition and not just answering some models or exams. Is there any impact, really real effect in your life? I mean, you're memorizing some things, or I mean, your mind is improved now, or what?
I think like memory has a big effect on our brains, because like if we can if we know the techniques for learning stuff, it can improve all different aspects. I mean, when I started competing, I didn't really use it to memorize other stuff or anything like that, but now I kind of use it in every area of my life. So like I'm not very organized as a person, so I try to kind of use my memory techniques to remember what I have to do every day. Like I have different locations for each day of the week, things like that. And it really kind of improves my mental well-being to be able to do that. I think that it sort of makes me happy to be able to memorize everything I want to. So yeah, it definitely also the competing aspect, it makes me happy because I enjoy doing that. I enjoy meeting people from all over the world. So yeah, memory has had a big impact on my life.
Okay, another question, if you allow me. Sorry, I need to ask, what's the kind of your study or academic study?
So at university, I studied computer science, and I've also done languages as well. So I'm currently a translator. That's my job. So yeah, I have a variety of things that I've done really. But yeah, I used to be a programmer. Now I'm a translator. So yeah, two different things there.
Okay, computer science is a scientific branch of science. So did memory practicing help you in your study?
Yeah, definitely. I used a lot of like mind maps, but also techniques for memorizing lists of things that I need for my exams. So yeah, definitely. Memory techniques was able to help me, so that exams were always something that weren't a big problem, because I think a lot of it is memory. There's obviously understanding as well, but I think if you can memorize stuff, then you can also use that to understand more things. So I think, yeah, memorization is like a massive boost for exams.
Thank you.
Great. Katie is one of the team programmer for IM software, who we are train on this software, great software. Thank you, Katie, for your time. Good luck in your life. See you.
Thank you. You too.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.